Okay, so it's clear now. Oh no, don't expect anything on this. No, no. Oh God, no. And why? It's because this is my mother. Okay? That means all that Freudian, all that field of study that I never took, doctorates and theses and medical degrees for psychology doctors and psychiatrists. Freud, I respect these people, okay? Oh my God, yes. So, now my word recall is really bad, all right? So, but you got my point. By 2026, I really sound street. Remember how I said street is key? Well, that's what I am when you take all my English vernacular away, and that's all I remember. And in some ways, that's who I really am. And I'm telling you, me and the Mexicans, we are twins. They don't have parents, they're orphans, they don't have food, they live in Mexico City. They learn as a little child to survive and survive. They see all this violence. You just put the skin color, different color. I'm a Mexican. I'm a Mexican too. But streets is key, okay? And Jesus always told me that. Strangely. And I'm like, trying to get a law degree at the time, saying, no, I'm a lawyer, and when I really love the most of all is to cook and roll dough. And if you can't make an income at something you really love, but you like your job, because you really do need to like your job at least enough to not be depressed, okay? But if your passion and your hobby or whatever is something that you can channel your energy like that, oh my God, do it. I'm gonna cut through this way. And I learned that when I rolled that empanada dough. I learned it again because I always channeled my energy through food. But oh my God, if it's exercise, whatever it is, any sort of activity that you are channeling all this negative energy right out of you. For me, it's a physical activity, and it's rolling fucking empanada dough, rolling pastry dough. I'll never forget how helpful that was. And I've done it all my life, but just, sometimes in life you get a reminder. So, but this is my mother, okay? And this is all the way Freudian. This is all the way from when you're born, your entire life, and how much this makes a person the way they are, and how much this affects someone, a normal person who's functional, We're not talking about antisocial, serious, violent felons and stuff. We're talking about normal people like me and you, whoever might be listening to this. Let's go to the memorial. So, no, today is not the day to give a lot of juicy information, because it is my mother, no matter what. Okay? God, man. No matter what. It's just how the world works. You can't reinvent the wheel. And then her spouse, I've known him since I was 18. I can't wish ill on him. No. So my part on the planet Earth is to do everything I can to make sure that whatever I do as I'm walking right now, my little steps I'm taking, are for positive when it comes to your family. You don't have to talk to your family if you want. You can excommunicate them. But you can't make steps to hurt them. Do you understand? That's what I'm all about, especially since I came home. I didn't talk to him yet. No, it was multiple years for a sound reason. But I never took steps like I'm taking here to fucking hurt them. And I'm not going to start doing that either. So no, I can't give up awesome, amazing, historical, juicy information. No, I just want the best for them, no matter what they chose to do with their lives. Okay? No matter what kind of denial they want to keep running in circles, it's not for me. Everything I do from here on the 7th of May, is the 7th of May. It's a very critical day, but I can't talk about it. No, I will. Don't stress out. I will, but not today. Everything I do now is to make sure that I don't cause any harm. That is not my role. Not with my family fucking members, my mom and my stepdad that I've known since I was 18. What kind of fucking deranged person would do that? Okay? All right. There's our reality check, all right? So I came up here because I needed to get some air. Yes, something prompted that. But we want to thank the war heroes for being able to come out. All right? And no, I'm not talking about Port Townsend, not one word. God, no. If you've noticed, it ain't there. And no, I'm not talking about my stepdad or this mother of mine. Now, I can say this. I said it out loud in the house. I said, wow, what a genome carrier. Because that's what Jesus has explained to me. It's more than that. Jesus is not just all about science and she's a genome carrier. No, but that is factually what is different about me. It's genomes and it's genes. And he's been explaining that since I was 18. And 18, I was playing guitar. And I was completely and utterly an anarchist. And I still am. So I wasn't studying genes. And no, okay? And these are the type of people that study genes, that are science majors, that are military. They're making history. By the time they're like 23, they literally are taking steps of making history on the calendar. I wasn't doing that. I'm not putting myself down, but you've got to respect people who... There's really incredible people in society, and they demonstrate that by making history at 25 years old, 21 years old. They do. They are them, and that is them. Okay, so I wasn't studying genes and genomes and biological research and engineering, bioengineering, or anything like that at 21, 22, 23, getting my master's in that by 24. No, I wasn't. But Jesus was explaining the genes. Genes are really big. And so I said out loud in the house, I said, wow, what a genome carrier. Wow. So I can be, kind of have feelings on this, but I don't make steps to hurt her. No, and it's so loco that I really got to make sure my little step is cook food, clean the house. And there's so much going on, mommy, that is what you're doing. Yeah, I'm capable of a lot, okay? We know that. But right now on the calendar, that's not what's asked of me. That is not what's being asked of me, folks. Okay, so we've got that reality check in and registered good. We're at 9 minutes. But the gene is big, okay? And this is what Jesus said very clearly, so I recite it. There's more to it too, but I don't get into it on the internet. It's the father's genes. The father brought the genome, but she carried it. She's my mother, folks. Okay, and besides the science, that's my mother. And okay, here. See our feet, taking steps. I don't take steps to hurt her. Okay, let's look at our feet. If she takes steps to cause harm to me, that's not something I had anything to do with. It matters to my creator what steps I take. And this goes for all of you out there. Okay? I'm not going to take steps back to do anything but positivity. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to go. I'm going to title this Reality Check. I'm not talking about shit, folks. Not now. No, it is there. We're at the point now, May 7th, that anything I say could really just send these dominoes, force, friction, cause and effect that I don't have the right or the okay to tip over one domino here. I stick on my course, which has been just cooking and cleaning. And yeah, I'm way capable of more. And yes, life will give me more than that. If you are somebody who loves to live at home and cook and clean, well, that's fine. But there are women who can do more. And that's why I want the telework. But I can't get on a political speech when I'm looking at a war memorial. Let's walk. Telework is part of your social contract in a liberal society. And you can have a liberal society without having to have it be necessarily democracy. You can have a government that has a mix of different government systems. It doesn't have to be just complete democracy. And it doesn't have to be just complete capitalism. Okay, but if you're going to have a social contract with the women in your population, they need to be able to make that choice. Do I want to just hang out at home and cook and clean because I love this? I'm so happy like this. Then let that individual do that. But if there's women like me, and you don't compare, you're just different people that want to go work any sort of job, you need to make it possible for them to telework. If there's something that's requiring and asking of that woman and man, but mostly women, because of family responsibility, to stay at home for a handful of years so that she doesn't lose the time on work experience, so that she doesn't feel that she went to college and then there's just this huge gap in work. She can telework, and the fact that that's not being offered and provided is intentional, all right? And there is no more waiting or tolerance or patience for your social contract in the United States of America to finally be given to you. And this really applies to Black and brown people. Okay, no more talking about it. Okay, no more talking about your equal rights. Okay, and as far as women are concerned, equal rights do not mean that prostitution is a line of work. Prostitution and being gang raped by men, which is initiation. A lot of women who are celebrities were initiated, and that's how Donald Trump's wife was initiated by at least 4 different men at one point in their life. It could be any sort of gang. It can be any sort of mafia, it's any color. They all do this. They're pigs. They see these women as property and they turn around and kill them in a second. But these women have severe mental health issues. And I don't need to explain that to you if you have a sound of mind. Nobody wants to be gang raped. Do I need to explain that to you? There is no give and take in gang rape. And being a prostitute is not a real job. So for a social contract, no, that doesn't apply, okay? Telework is a taxable, lawful income that women can get, okay? So I hopefully will see that through. It's up to God, God's will. But the steps I'm taking, no matter what He has planned for me in life, are not to hurt my mother. And so reality check on May 7th, is you're not going to hear nothing. It's gone bonkers. It's gone bonkers, and I'm not taking no steps to cause any sort of harm. No. fucking know. So I'm taking the steps in the light of God. Okay, so I'll close with the 15-minute here. Should make Instagram, that's good, because YouTube is insane, as we've all seen. And we will pay our respects in silence to our soldiers of the United States Armed Services.